Good morning, Capricorn, to your mind, body, soul reading with me. Ooh, and we're delving into the cracks, crevices, and recesses to play with that wrinkle in time and to get you caught up to where you ought to be. Not all like what the world says, like your soul is like, this is where I should be now if I hadn't been dealing with everybody else's shiz and spending my life on other people. I'm ready to be in myself, but how am I going to make it? Because that seems to be a big differential. But let me tell you, friends, you're like, how can I do it and actually not feel guilty? There ain't no shame with your prosperity and your favor, Capricorn. Breathe and let yourself be juicy. That's the thing. You are a mature fruit tree. Used to, it took 20 years for a fruit tree to mature before they bred all these dwarf kinds. And so the thing is, the only difference is you're not handing it out to other people and then sitting down at the end of your day going, well, where's my piece? And there's like, there is none left. Your only piece is the tree. And you're like, okay, I'll make peace with that. I'll make peace with that. But the thing is, what I'm telling you, there's no shame in your prosperity. It's your tree, and it is fruit season, and it's getting juicy and ripe and warm by that sun and cooled by the dew at night. And it knows the stories of the generations because all trees talk. There are lots of oaks around here, live oaks, because I live in a place where hurricanes go, right? And the energy moves deep into the ground. Even if the roots aren't as deep as they seem, they're talking about there's this energetic connection that if you continue to draw their trunk down, it anchors hundreds of feet down into the soil. And that's a different layer, like the inner sanctum, where they all talk to each other and they don't differentiate or discriminate. They get the whole pulse of what is going on in this world. So let's get that pulse and get into your mind, body, soul, and then a little color connection for you, friend. Oh, you're already switching. You're already switching into the Four of Pentacles, and it's rising up like, okay. And you're the fourth. So you really focus on the Three of Pentacles, this community mindset of like, you mean our world could really be in a place where it supports me like that? Where it supports me like that? Where it looks to contribute to my life because it recognizes that I'm contributing to the world? And I don't have to doubt or suppress or just get over myself over and over again. Ooh, friend, what a reading you are bringing in for us. If that sounds like you, stick around because we about to do some magic. Already? Do you need to reach? 10 of Pentacles? Okay. So they pulled this deck out yesterday and they are like, we are going to get into this. Now, prior to now, this deck has been pretty special that it's just reserved for certain times because a lot of people can't handle going into the foundational basics. But they're like, they're ready for the world now. They're ready for the channel to go into this because they're ready to build upon what our dreams and our desires are. Not hiding them, with them. With them. See that being left out, having all this, but having this wall of separation, not wanting to go in there. And what's wild is even this couple is kind of being snagged by a pentacle from being able to go into what they are seeking so far beyond there. The higher view, the higher vantage point, the community, the common unity. And if you're showing up here, hopefully soon as I can figure out where to lodge this channel in YouTube, there's one called Capricorn Connection that's coming out that is everything Capricorn. They've asked me to do it, and I was like, well, that's very interesting seeing how we're the whole zodiac. But they're like, yeah, Joy, we got some secret stuff that's special that only speaks up to Capricorn. And of course, anybody can tune in, but it's more defined and it's more refined. It's going over there where it's got like investment information coming out. And I'm like, woo, okay. Script it up for me then. And so this is an invitation to do away with the old facades and the old foundation. The old limitation, the walls and the narrowness of the mind of like the portion that you saved for yourself. Because your day would be portioned out. You start out with this tremendous uprising energy, or some days fatigue, right, from the day before. But it comes and it starts rising up as you get moving about in your day, and it builds in you. And then the gribblers is what I call it. These little bitty things that come along. Oh, I want one. And here's one. And here's one. And here's one. As you're walking along the way, you show up and your bag of pears is empty. And you're like, I'm hungry. What am I going to have for lunch? Everybody's like, oh, we'll see you later, Fred. We'll see you later, Jean. We're all going to lunch. So-and-so's taking us out for a treat. Bye. that old being shook, no wonder you look like that. You're like, I have all this ability, power, these wealth and resources, but I don't seem to be included in this. And that disclusion from the world maybe created a condition around your mind. And not that we sit there with victim mentality, because some people love to say that. There are many of us that aren't ever thinking about it. They've just been vulnerable to that type of energy that it became conditioned. Like the aqueducts, they were filtering off our water from our house to flow towards theirs. And we're like, I don't have all this happen because you weren't thinking with that intention in that mind to harm or to take. You were looking to give the advantage, to assist, to help. Does that sound like you? All right, well, apparently one was a no, but look at the bottom, Knight of Swords, incoming quickly, quick change. Ooh, you're going to love that channel Capricorn connection, because it's showing up in the background that your mountains be catching on fire. Ooh, That is your sure foundations coming about. We're talking about some financial institutions, even, my friend. Like, you might find a savings account just showing up like bricks of gold. And you're like, ooh, my dreams are funded. They are founded. I can go somewhere. I can begin to experience this life that I've only watched in the passing by, in my goings and doings. I'm like, pardon the glisten, y'all. It's a kiss from the sun, because it's getting hot in here. Look at that preview of your mind, the boundaries. That was that limitation that we were talking about. I guess I already followed it back. That about the conditions of the mind. That's how life has been, and that's how it's going to be. And whether you ever verbalize this or consciously cognize those words, there is a bit of an assumption of it in your spirit. Well, your mind is whole, because that's what that is saying. That was the fractions and the states of the moon. Let's get into the wholeness here. Let's get into the fullness of who you are. Ooh, look at that. And no more hunger, no more wolf there, because wolf is when, that's Chiron. When he shows up as the wound in our chart, having to live from other people's woundedness. They're like, Joy, we meant it. I'm like, okay, I hadn't done a mind, body, soul reading in a long time. And I, years ago, I used to keep all 3 decks put together, and then we would see what would come out. But today, they specifically wanted them separate. But look at that. Look at this resurrection power. That's the lotus floating out, and it's sending these messages out to your mind, the back of your mind, and hey, I have this dream and this living hope. It is time for me. That fresh air is blowing again. I am ready for this refreshment in this life. And so it's just saying here to take a little time to remind yourself that you don't have to double down and protect or avoid people or whatever else. You can just simply say, no, thanks, or bye, as you're on the way and you see their mouth starting to open, because you know they're going to be clamoring and gribbling for you, like, hey, could you, what, and you, bye, and you just jump in your car and you zoom off, and at first your heart might be like this, like, oh my God, did I just do that? Where do I go? What am I doing? And it's like, you're just going to take some time for yourself, go drive around the block a bit, put some music on, go pick you up a quick bite at some little hamburger joint or whatever. You see what I'm saying? That begins to buy space. That's what that, oh no, she's gone now. That begins to buy you space, and your whole world, it's ready to expand. You're not going to be compressed and suppressed anymore. It's going to expand. And all this pushing off, some of you may be calling in Dragonfly Spirit, because yesterday they said, stop right here, Joy. And I'm on this road, and they said, get out and leave your door open. I did. I'm like, okay. And there's this black water over there, and black water is considered holy water. I'm looking at that black water. I'm like, what? And this fuchsia, dragonfly comes zizzing and going all up right around my head, my face. And I'm like, oh, I see it. I have never seen a fuchsia dragonfly, undeniably, not hints and a little dot here. No, the whole thing, even out onto the wings. And that is beyond the high heart energy. That's when we get into the tactile high heart. So these aren't just things that you're going to be sitting in your spirit like, oh, it's so nice to have a little time to myself to think and relax. No, we are talking about physical dreams as well. That's physical, but it is not limited to that. It can involve travel. It can involve investments and groundbreaking investments. It can involve trademarking and creating products that you desire to share with the world. Are we getting there? Okay, friend. So let's get into your body, since you're talking all this earth. Look at that bottom, the beaver. That's really wild. So we were notorious. I'm just going to do it, y'all, because they were like beforehand, they were like, you have already shuffled the cards. Do not touch them. But they're having me pull off the bottom. Maybe because Capricorn, you've been last for so long. That may be a tender place for somebody. But you would still love and live out of your goodness. And sometimes out of that tension and stress in your neck, like, okay, I'll keep going, but when's it going to be my turn? I'm really ready to relax and to live and to experience what all this is inside me that I haven't had time to be intimate with. I've only been able to sensate it, to feel it. I can't even imagine what it would look like. Well, it might look like a bit like a cosmic beaver. Oh my gosh, I'm laughing, y'all. Cosmic beaver. That the thing that used to dam here on earth and require those resources and all that hard work and the head down and the face and the hard and the hard and the hard and the hard and the efforting and the energizing to hopefully get a little pool, a little home, a little bit of sacred space, you know, not really relating and navigating with other creatures on the planet, very isolated. But remember that community that you were wanting to experience, to feel a part of this world, to feel included, to feel a part of, not your things that they're wanting from you, your gifts and talents and whatever, but you. Get ready. This beaver, I shuffle y'all, but you saw what happened a few minutes ago. Look at this. It's a whole new world. It's a whole new existence. This beaver is up running the race. The tail is down. It's like, oh, there's some goodies over there for me. No longer having to work and to cut certain things off or to etch it out or to niche it out or to sit over in your 8th house, okay? Whatever sign that is, you might check out the Body, Mind, Soul reading for that as well. My 8th house is in Leo, so Joy, you better listen up because I listen back to these. I'm talking to myself. Appreciate, okay? But getting into this whole new energy, look at the beaver launching. Oh, wow. This is stimulating, y'all, because this new era plasma is here. And they talk about all things being possible. Well, wouldn't you imagine the beaver going, oh, I live for the day that I don't have to live like this anymore. I don't have to live in the condition, the limitation of how I entered this world, of the family, of the kingdom that I entered in. Phylum, kingdom, class, order, species. Okay. Anyways, talking science there. That I don't have to be limited to that. You mean I can come from creation and we're going to create and see what divines and what happens, what follow my heart, follow my spirit, follow my soul? Because that's what Beaver's telling us here. When you've lived in that one condition, that one existence, that one vein, that one lane for so long, your soul's ready to bust out all over the place. So some of the first breaking through this plasmatic energy. I would guess that is the kindness, having been last, getting to be first. Because with Pluto and Saturn being caught up together, oh my word, oh my gosh, and our sign for so long, it moving out of there is like looking for any glimpse or glimmer of hope, the light of day breaking. And it's kind of like the first part where you're catching the sun, like in our country, the Eastern time zone catches it first, right? So face the east, my friend. Face the east. Maybe even physically do it. Find out in your location, in your home, which way is east. And just simply turn that direction. Or you could just watch where the sun rises or go watch the sunrise. Get up early for yourself and be like, okay, well, usually I'm trying to recover from other things. And they're like, I know you're missing out on your blessing. Look at all this. We got all this secret for you. We got all this essence. We got all this zhuzh. Somebody thought to put whipped cream and cherry on top at one point, right? And it ain't called extra. It ain't called ice cream. It's called a sundae. Oh, how genius. Sundae. Y'all have to sort the channel. But I'm human. The sundae. Oh, that's hilarious. They're so funny. Oh, look, I told you. I clipped and shuffled all that and look at what came out again. I kept seeing Ganesha back behind that, but that's the eyes of the abundance. Get ready for your taste to be wet. If you watch that, which one was it? Oh, it's the Feeling Like $1,000,000 one. You're going to miss out if you don't listen to this one. Oh my gosh, it was the Ace of Cups overflowing because your senses are salivating, they're getting wet. Your mind is getting juicy, is getting ready. You are the tree of life, my friend. All flavors, all savors. Oh my word. Because, I mean, you got so much common sense, which is the sixth sense, is when all the senses come together and it becomes common. And you're like, oh, look over there. Oh, look at that. Oh, whatever. That comes from the seagoat, right, my friend? Check out the Capricorn connection. When it shows up, I will be sure to let you know. And until then, pray for me so that it can get opened up here at YouTube. Flash over. It's all over your head. It's all over your head. Your corona. Corona means crown. And I say, my corona, because there's a song, ma. Somebody got their soul on lockdown. Okay, friend, uber protected from everything. The being pilfered, the run dry, the empty tree, the empty bag. Okay, I'm going to take this moment right now. We're going to do some energy work. Life, thank you for the abundance that is in our hearts and in our minds, that has not been taken, that still has been nurtured in secret. So secret we may not even know where we hid it. We might have thought it was lost, forgotten, forever gone, wasted, no good. Revive us. Bring about the splash of magic, the awakening power, just like water awakens the seed. We are the seed goat. Seed goat. Oh, that's hilarious. Ooh, ooh. Life is in you, friend. I'm shaking and I'm waking it. Let's look it up. Serendipity, merge with the flow. Your soul be open now. Hallelujah. They're saying you're everything. You're everything. You're everything. Not your pieces and parts. You're all. You're everything, and you are everything. Don't start settling or selling yourself out or pimping yourself out or hoping this is going to work or that's going to work, and start getting out of your mind to kind of see how maybe that person's listening to you and invest in your dreams, or maybe this one's going to connect you. No, stay in yourself. If you are everything, you are where it is at. You are the buzz, you are the hand and the glove. Like, be all in yourself. And if you feel led to speak it or to share it, do it, but be in yourself. Don't be out and feel, that's stanky. That's stanky. It says, how can you feed others when your own table is empty? Sit at your table and it will not be empty, because they're not talking about the food. You are the dish. You are the essence. You are the host. You are everything. All right? Sit at your own table, my friend, and be fed and share when you feel like it. But no need to isolate either. Look at this at the bottom. Y'all, it's like I feel set up. They're like, yes, Joy, because I don't even know how I shuffled that deck when they were telling me, don't. All right, but at least it turned out for the best, and we scored everything, didn't we? Our humanity and our missteps can be a blessing. More than lessons, they're a blessing because they produce growth and development, something that is dynamic, something that is dimensional as opposed to flat, right? These little flat things are coming in to color your mind, to open up your essence and dimension. Look at that tangerine. Be spontaneous and have fun. Number 17. Ooh, all right. I know about 17. 17 is the resonant number of the heart of the sky, or Ophiuchus, where we become solar, where we go from being one little slice on the zodiac of this is my sun sign to being the sun. The solar system. That's why it's called solar. Soul, it means sun. The whole thing. The symphony, the conductor, the audience, the musicians, the music, the notes, the air, the atmosphere, everything. That's what they're talking about here up in tangerine. Because see, first of all, you open the orange. Where does the orange come from? The tree, right, my friend? So if you get the tree, you are the tree, then you pluck that orange, right? That's a one piece. You open it up and you break it into these segments. They're all still the one. And inside the segment, if you ever like me when I was a kid and some of them were dry, I peel that little membrane off the outside, and inside are all these little bubbly juices of delight. Everything about you is all one. And they're saying, taste the rainbow. Taste the whole. Not just the segments and the pieces and parts of you, because every part of you is whole. I speak that medicine over you again, friend. Every part of you is whole. and more than worthy, friend. You are valuable. And when you come from there, your table will be filled, and not with enemies, with bounty, with blessings, with benefits, with life, with savor, and with flavor. I'm celebrating you, friend. If that sounds good, put some juicy fruit down in the comments. Show me what fruit you are. Some trees, some whatever else. Reclaiming your rights, your truth, yourself to return to your blessed self. I am loving this. I am celebrating you too, friend. So why don't you consider joining my channel? Subscribe down there. It is free as always, and they just let you know when a new video comes out. You could give it a thumbs up, a little touch of love, just one little tap of your finger, and show your love for this channel. Until next time, friend, always remember,